My dear friends, seasons change and people get sick. And in that situation, it becomes absolutely important for us to understand what phrases you can use to talk about their sicknesses. And this is what today's session is about. We will understand interesting health-related phrases you must know and how to make use of them in daily life. So let's get started without further ado. My name is Hridhaan. I welcome you all to this very beautiful channel that we have with a very big heart. Let us get started with our very first phrase. The first one is verbal diarrhea. Now you must know the difference, the meaning of diarrhea. Sometimes when you do not have a nicely working stomach, you go to the loo quite often, don't you? Right? Similarly, when you have a verbal diarrhea, you're talking too much. Verbal diarrhea means the problem of talking continuously and too much. For example, I expect a simple answer, either a yes or no. Stop the verbal diarrhea. Don't talk so much. Just tell me the answer to this question. Is it a yes or a no? That was verbal diarrhea. Time for us to look at the second phrase. Give taste of one's own medicine. A very nice idiomatic expression, which means to treat someone as badly as they treated you. A lot of people would not do that, but a lot of people like this strategy. They call it tit for tat. For example, don't be rude to others. You won't like it when you get the taste of your own medicine. If you're rude to others, there's a high possibility that there could be a person who's rude to you. In that situation, we say, getting the taste of one's own medicine or giving the taste of one's own medicine. Let us now look at the third phrase in the list, susceptible to something. Susceptible means to be easily influenced or harmed by something. For example, she is very susceptible to dust particles in the air. She catches cold because of that. It happens with me really. I am genuinely susceptible to dust particles too. The moment that there's, let's say, some traffic out there and there's a lot of dust in air, and if I breathe, I catch cold immediately. Are you one of those people as well? Do let us know. What are you susceptible to? Let's move on to the next health-related phrase in the list, and that is in the pink. In the pink is basically used when you have blushes on your skin. Does that mean that you are sick, or does that mean that you're happy and healthy? It's the latter one. It means to be in an extremely good health. That is called in the pink. For example, he might look in the pink, but deep down, he's still depressed ever since his girlfriend left him. So on the face of it, he looks very nice, all good. But inside of his heart, deep down means inside of his heart, he's not very happy. So that is in the pink. Let us move to the next one. Clean bill of health. One of the phrases that I have used in one of the introductory videos of Hridhaan on Hridhaan's website. Clean bill of health means a medical document that proves that someone is healthy. Bill is basically referred to as the document here. Clean means good health. So a document that shows that you're in good health. I'm going to show one example, but I would like each one of you to look at this video carefully and keep on writing your own exemplar sentences in the comment section below. Because guess what? I read them all. I'm going to be liking your comments if you write good sentences. So let's get started. If you wish to apply for a job in the Navy, you must show a clean bill of health. Well, that's very, very important. Getting a job in the Indian Air Force or Navy or Army, for that, you need to show that you're very fit yourself. And to show that, the document that's required is called a clean bill of health, a document that shows that you're happy and healthy. The next phrase is on the mend, which basically means to get better after serious illness. When you recover, that's when you say, I am on the mend. For example, I was sick for 8 months after I contracted malaria, but now I am on the mend. But now I have recovered from malaria. The next one is blackout. When you close your eyes, what happens? Can you see the colors around you, or can you see nothing but the black color? That's called blackout, when you get unconscious. A period of temporary loss of consciousness when you're not conscious, when you have fainted, that's when you say blackout. For example, she had been rehearsing for 25 hours before she blacked out in the middle of a performance. Very nice. She rehearsed so much that when it was time to perform, in the middle of the performance, she fainted. She blacked out. The past of black is blacked. This was about blackout. Time for us to move on to the next one, which is bitter pill to swallow. It means a situation that is very bad but must be accepted as it is. There are a lot of times something happens to us, and although it is not a pleasant, happy situation, we still have to accept it. Let's understand it using an example below. Getting bad marks was a bitter pill to swallow, was very hard to accept. And where does this phrase come from? Bitter pill to swallow. When you take a medicine and you're sick, do you want to take the medicine, especially when it is bitter? You don't want to, but you still have to, right? Similarly, getting bad marks, nobody wants it. But if you have not prepared well, what happens? It's a bitter pill to swallow. The next one is pale around the gills. It basically means to look sick, especially during winter season when people have red nose. It feels as though they have cold, they have leaking nose, and they're not feeling good. They have warm clothes around them. So that's called pale around the gills. For example, Rahul was pale around the gills after he recovered from COVID-19. Recovering from COVID-19 wasn't easy. Even after that, he was slightly looking sick. And that is pale around the gills. He was not fully recovered. Next one is foot and mouth disease. It means to embarrass oneself through a silly mistake. We are in public space and we end up doing something, a twitch, or let's say end up shouting at a quiet place. The situation becomes slightly awkward for everybody. That's when we say foot and mouth disease. For example, Judy put her foot in mouth when she called her new boyfriend with her ex's name. A very awkward situation. Imagine that you're dating somebody and instead of calling that person with his or her name, you end up calling him with the previous ex's name. That is a very awkward situation. That is foot and mouth disease. This was about all the phrases that we have that are related to health that you can make use of in daily life to talk about most basic situations. Use these phrases. You do not need to use all of them. Just select your favorite one, but make sure that you become so good at it, that you get so good at it, that it becomes a second nature to your personality. Take good care of yourself, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.